Good afternoon. Pat has this Wednesday off. We'll have that vandalism story in a moment, but first, breaking news about the North Stars.
It looks like the chances of the team staying in Minnesota are getting better, and Tom Ryther joins us from Bloomington to tell us why. Tommy?
Well, Paul and Diana, what's happened out here near the Met Sports Center at the present time, Howard Baldwin, the movie producer from the Los Angeles area, is meeting with Lou Nanne, and at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, Mr. Baldwin, Lou Nanne, several officials from the North Stars, and Rodney Wallace, who owns the Thunderbird Hotel here in Bloomington, he was also in the meeting, and they asked Mr. Wallace, what can the hospitality industry do to help our efforts to try to buy this team? And Mr. Wallace said they would do everything they possibly could do, and then Mr. Wallace said, what about local ownership? They said they would certainly not be opposed to bring in a few local owners. Now, first of all, Howard Baldwin is involved with a man by the name of Morris Belsberg, who's the owner of Budget Rent-A-Car, and an attorney by the name of Richard Cohen, who's in the movie business with him. But those would be the principal three people. Now, he had been working, that is, Baldwin had been working on trying to get a franchise in the NHL for the San Jose, California area. He told me last night, though, that the North Stars should stay here, and he did more than hint this. He said an expansion team should go to San Jose, and that possibly the Guns might be interested in that. Now, how does Lou Nanne, the current president of the North Stars, figure in? Well, he's been a friend of Baldwin since Baldwin was with the Hartford Whalers as one of the owners there. And Louis tells me that the Baldwin Group has a strong chance to make a deal. Louis is very optimistic. In fact, he says he has not felt so optimistic about the team staying here in some time as he does right now. Now, as I said, the meetings today include Baldwin, Nanne, the Guns, business leaders, City of Bloomington officials will be brought in. They're also going to meet with the governor a little bit later on. As for Howard Baldwin, well, his close relationship to the Guns may play a role, as Baldwin, I should say, told me last night.
I've known Gordon Gund and George Gund for a long time because I was in the National Hockey League for 10 years. I have enormous respect for Gordon and George. They're good friends. We're hosting a dinner in L.A. for Gordon's RP Foundation on Tuesday. I have great respect for them and for their problems here. But sometimes a fresh face can come in and with some new energy, you know, and maybe revitalize the situation.
Now, here's what I've heard, that Mr. Baldwin will take what he has learned here today. He'll go back to California and talk with Mr. Belsberg and Mr. Cohen, present the facts to them, and there's no question that Mr. Baldwin is very much interested in this team. He was a founder of the Hartford Whalers. And Paul and Diane, as I go back to you, the big thing that he told me last night is that he would be willing to establish a part-time residence here in the Twin Cities to have a hands-on posture with the Minnesota North Stars, and he said the North Stars should stay in Minnesota. Now, a little bit later on at 6 o'clock, I'll have a lot more. In fact, I will be visiting with Lou Nanne and Howard Baldwin. We'll hear from them as to how this meeting went today.
Tom, you mentioned that the McKay Group was going to meet today as well with the Guns. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, actually, we can actually count Rodney Wallace as a member of the McKay Group, the owner of the Thunderbird, who is also representing the Bloomington Hospitality Group.
Were they going to present their offer today? That's the question.
No, they have not presented an offer. I think what the McKay Group has effectively done is they blocked the Guns' move to take the team and move it out to Oakland, California, or the Bay Area. That move has been effective, and it has allowed groups like Baldwin to move in, the CompuWare company. I'm still not discounting the McKay Group, but Paul and Diana, I don't think they're the front runners anymore. I think Mr. Baldwin, who's only about a quarter of a mile from me right now, is the front runner.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Tommy.
Murphy with Modano along the boards. Murphy coming in with a backhand pass. They score!
The North Stars sweepstakes are heating up again tonight as a deal to keep the team in town may be close at hand. Good evening. The North Stars' current owners are in town tonight, and talks about a possible sale have been going on all day long.
Sources tell KARE 11 News they're more confident than ever that the team will stay in Minnesota under new ownership.
George and Gordon Gund announced their intentions to either move or sell the North Stars last month. 3 groups have expressed interest in the team. One is led by businessman Harvey McKay and involves 30 prominent local investors. The second is the CompuWare Corporation of Detroit, which has made a bid of more than $31 million. But the third player is California movie producer Howard Baldwin, and he's apparently moving to the front of the pack. Baldwin has not only expressed interest in buying the team, but also in keeping the North Stars in Minnesota.
Tom Ryther has been following today's meetings and joins us from the Met Center with the latest. Tommy, why is Howard Baldwin now so prominent in the bid for the North Stars?
Well, Diana, his background in hockey goes all the way back to the founding of the Hartford Whalers of the World Hockey Association. They later joined the National Hockey League. He has a great love for hockey. He made a lot of money when he sold that franchise, then went into the movie business out in California. And he has some people out there, Morris Belsberg, a budget rent-a-car, and an attorney, Richard Cohen. They're all in the movie business together. They just want to get into the hockey business. Baldwin is spearheading it. He's been in town for a whole day to try to get a feeling as to what's been going on. He's met with Lou Nanne, the president of the North Stars, whom he's known for a long, long time. He's met with area business leaders to get their impressions. He will meet with Governor Perpich tonight. As for impressions that he's having, I asked Baldwin to give me a comment, and he told me this moments ago.
I've had a good day, done a lot of work, done a lot of homework, and met some wonderful people, and I'm cautiously optimistic about everything that I've seen, and I still feel the way I did when you and I chatted last night, that if we can get a good solution for this so that it works for everybody, the people here and the people in San Jose and the Guns and Howard Baldwin and the league, then that's what should happen.
He also told me that he would establish a residence in this area, have a hands-on situation. Now the question is, where would they play? That building right behind me. He minced no words whatsoever. He said they are meant to play in the Met Sports Center. He said it's a grand building. That's where they would play. Nothing against the downtown building. We said that's where the North Stars' home would be if he had a deal. He'll go back to California, present the figures, and I think try to make an offer within the next week.
Tommy, the other groups, I presume at this point, they're still not out of the running then?
Not out of the running at all. CompuWare, a very viable group. The local McKay group, although I think their role has been to slow down the NHL's move to let the Guns move out of town. That's been successful. I would say the two front runners right now are Mr. Baldwin and CompuWare, but CompuWare, they're still in it.
And it certainly has to help Baldwin that he does have a relationship with the Guns then.
They're great friends. They're going to have a banquet for the Guns Tuesday in Los Angeles. Later in sports, we'll hear more from Baldwin and Lou Nanne.
All right, Tommy.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
In terms of this market, the Twin Cities, there certainly should be NHL hockey here.
The newest contestant in the North Stars sweepstakes is cautiously optimistic tonight he can pull off a deal to keep the team in the North Star state. Good evening. It appears more likely than ever the North Stars will be sold and will stay right here in Minnesota.
The progress on the sale comes after day-long meetings between the Gunn brothers and the newest North Star suitor.
3 potential buyers have now come forward since the Guns announced last month that the team must be sold or they'd move it to California. The main players trying to land the North Stars include Peter Carmanos. He's the owner of CompuWare, a Michigan-based computer software company. Harvey McKay is heading the effort by a local group that wants to purchase the Stars and had been considered the front runner until today. That's because Howard Baldwin, a former co-owner of the NHL's Hartford Whalers and currently a Hollywood movie producer, has entered the picture.
Tom Ryther joins us a little early tonight with more on the North Star situation. Tommy?
Well, it's been an interesting day in a lot of ways, really. But Howard Baldwin really is no stranger to pro hockey. He helped found the Hartford Whalers and the World Hockey Association, and then they merged in the NHL. After selling the Whalers, he went to Hollywood, but he apparently hasn't gotten hockey out of his thoughts because he remains in the area checking out the possible purchase of the North Stars. Last night, all the North Stars could do was sit and wait for the Detroit-Buffalo results, and the final score put Detroit out of the playoffs and the North Stars into their second straight postseason action. And then today, the North Stars, their coaches and staff, and the public waited again to see how potential buyer Howard Baldwin views this area. His tour led him to the governor's mansion, as well to various business leaders. The reception was apparently quite good.
The fact that we're here with the governor, to me anyway, is a great compliment to us. And it's a unique opportunity, I think, for us to come into an area and move into an area, which we would do if we get involved and really be a part of a community and make it work.
On the other side of the coin, here is how Governor Perpich views Baldwin's visit.
Just get acquainted, welcome them to Minnesota, and Minnesota just love to have them here.
So, while the North Stars have their minds on the playoffs, part of them have to be focusing on where the future will lead. Stars President Lou Nanne is optimistic.
I think that there's a very good opportunity now where everybody could be satisfied. There's a number of loopholes that have to be closed, and I think we can close them. And if I was a percentage type guy now, I'd say we're past 50-50 for the North Star stay.
Baldwin told me tonight he will take the facts back to California and present them to his partners, Morris Belsberg, the president of the budget rent-a-car company, and his partner in the movie business, attorney Richard Cohen. He wants this deal to work out, but he makes no promises at this point, and we'll have more on the story coming up in sports.
If he gets him, has he said anything about where he would want the Stars to play within the state of Minnesota?
Yes, we'll have that later. He flat out said, Paul, the Met Sports Center. He said that's part of the deal. That's a great building. That's where they should be.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks. Police in Mendocino